The Trump administration says the president has approved the sale of F-35 fighter jets to Saudi Arabia. The decision follows Tuesday's White House visit by Saudi Arabia's de facto leader Mohammed bin Salman. The jets are already used by US ally Israel, and some US officials worry that providing warplanes to an Arab nation would tilt the military balance in the Middle East. Trump said both nations deserve the jets, calling them great allies. Well, the press briefing in the Oval Office turned confrontational when an ABC News reporter asked about conflicts of interest and US intelligence findings that the Saudi leader ordered the 2018 murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. The line of questioning struck a nerve with Trump. Let's take a listen to the exchange.
President, is it appropriate, Mr. President, for your family to be doing business in Saudi Arabia while you're president? Is that a conflict of interest? And Your Royal Highness, the U.S. intelligence concluded that you orchestrated the brutal murder of a journalist. 9/11 families are furious that you are here in the Oval Office.
Who are you with?
Why should Americans trust you?
Who are you with? No, who are you with?
I'm with ABC News, sir.
You're with who?
ABC News, sir.
Fake news. ABC fake news. One of the worst in the business. But I'll answer your question.
Thank you.
I have nothing to do with the family business. I have left, and when I've devoted 100% of my energy. What my family does is fine. They do business all over. They've done very little with Saudi Arabia, actually. I'm sure they could do a lot. And anything they've done has been very good. That's what we've done. We've built a tremendous business for a long time. I've been very successful. I decided to leave that success behind and make America very successful. And I've made America more successful by far than it ever was, and that it ever could have been, no matter who was president. There would be nobody bringing in $21 trillion, that I can tell you right now. As far as this gentleman is concerned, he's done a phenomenal job. You're mentioning somebody that was extremely controversial. A lot of people didn't like that gentleman that you're talking about. Whether you like him or didn't like him, things happen. But he knew nothing about it, and we can leave it at that. You don't have to embarrass our guest by asking a question like that.
We're joined now by Ulrike Freitag from the Leibniz Center for Modern Oriental Studies. Thanks very much for joining us. So we just heard there Trump brushing off a reporter's question about MBS's role in the killing, saying, quote, things happen. How did the president's reception fit with how US intelligence view the Crown Prince's role in this affair?
Well, of course, US intelligence as well as a UN special reporter concluded that the Crown Prince was very much involved in this killing, and indeed such an event could not have happened without his sanctions. So in that sense, he went very clearly against what the intelligence community has concluded.
Yeah, I mean, Trump quite literally rolled out the red carpet for this visit. It's the first visit since the killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi in 2018. Why do you think this visit is happening now?
I think there are two issues. The one is that Trump wants to do business with Saudi Arabia. Arms sales have already been mentioned in your report. The other one is that he needs Saudi Arabia for his Gaza peace plan, and we all know that he wants to bring peace to the world, or that's what he claims. And Saudi Arabia is a major player in the region, and he wants Saudi Arabia and the other Gulf states to pay for the reconstruction of Gaza.
There's also a hope that Saudi Arabia might sign the Abraham Accords, bringing peace closer in the region. How likely do you think something like that is from Saudi Arabia?
I think at the moment it's very difficult. I mean, that's clearly Trump's hope. And I think the Crown Prince is very good at playing to the expectations of President Trump. I think as long as there's no credible strategy towards a two-state solution, and not least Israel is very vocal in rejecting that, the chances of that are fairly slim, not necessarily because the Crown Prince himself is overly concerned with Palestine, but he's also very concerned with public opinion in the kingdom, even though it's not a democracy, that does matter. And Saudis are very much following events and are very much in favor of a Palestinian state, albeit certainly not in favor of Hamas.
Now, this sort of warming of relations between the US and Saudi Arabia was already happening under former Democratic President Joe Biden. Is this move by Trump a big step, or is it just the next inevitable step in geopolitics?
In some ways, it's probably an inevitable step, but I think the very special welcome he's given to Mohammed bin Salman is certainly something which is meant to emphasize Trump's special attention to the Crown Prince, and in that sense, perhaps is somewhat above what one might have expected had the course of events been normal under perhaps a different political leadership in the US.
All right, Ulrike Freitag from the Leibniz Centre for Modern Oriental Studies. Thanks very much for your analysis.
Thank you.